Alert from personal hotspot available.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. We saw, or we are seeing, what is Atman, and here Adi Shankaracharya is in the whole conversation. The student asks the teacher that once I have dissolved the Panchakoshas, the five sheaths, the gross sheath, the vital air sheath, the mental sheath, the intellectual sheath, then once they are dissolved, there is nothing, there is absence of everything. Then how will I come to know the truth? How will I come to realize? How will I liberate when there is nothing? This was the dilemma of the student. And towards that, the great teacher, Adi Shankaracharya, he explained that when the one who knows, the one who is the witness of presence and absence, that is the truth. And what is the nature of that truth? It is self-illuminating, it is self-knowing, it is all-pervasive, and we saw that yesterday. And then another example that he took with regards to that was, just as the ignorant take the sun to be the reflected sun. The ignorant take the sun to be the reflected sun in the water which is held in a pot. But the wise one, they know the original sun. Exactly the same way the example was applied. The simile was taken and it was applied to this. This body is the pot, the mind are the water, is the waters, and the reflected consciousness which appears there as I, is the reflected sun. So what do the wise do? They do not take the body to be I, they do not take the mind to be I, they do not take the I also to be the real self. Then what do they take the real self to be? The real self is the witness of everything that is coming and going. And what is its nature? Here it was told, Nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam antar barhi shunyam anyam atmanaha vijnaya samyak nijarupam puman vipapma virajo vimrityuhu. These points, these were all the adjectives that were given to that eternal self. Nityam, which is eternal, Vibhum, which is all-pervasive, Sarvagatam, that is omnipresent, Susukshmam, subtler than the subtlest, and Antar Barhi Shunyam, without inside or outside, without interior or exterior. We live in the world of duality where there is in and out. And what is the truth? It has got no inside nor outside. So then what is our disposition? Don't look for the truth or the consciousness inside the body. Automatically we want to close our eyes and sit in meditation. Why? We think it is inside, but it is equally available outside, and that we must discover. Then ananyam, it is not different, means it is not different from you. You are that, Tattvamasi. And then Atmanaha, that the Atma is not different from the one who is the witness of what is coming and going. And in this way, realize, what is that? Samyak Nija Rupam. So realize your essential nature, and the man who realizes that essential nature becomes free from sin and free from all impurity, and thus as a result becomes deathless. He conquers death. And what is death? Death is for whom then? Death is for all that is other than the conscious nature. Now, but if the consciousness is vibhum, all pervasive, then how is there any existence of anything other than the conscious self? No. When we use language, we sometimes get lost in other than consciousness. अभी जैसे आपने बोला body, but it is correct. But did we think that just in the previous verse we said it is all pervasive? If it is all pervasive, it is everywhere. If it is everywhere, how can anything else exist? Then what is the status of body? Does it exist or does it not exist? This will be addressed now. विशोक आनंद घनो विपश्चित स्वयं कुतश्चिन्न बिभेति कश्चित नान्योस्ति पंथा भवबंध मुक्ते विना स्वतत्वावगमं मुमुक्षोः. The teacher says here, such a wise person, the person who has come to ascertain, discover the truth as it was told before, Nityam Vibhum, etc., etc. Such a wise person does not grieve in life. And this is the characteristic which we see in Mahatmas. They do not grieve about anything. Someone told Swamiji in the group, Swamiji, we are missing you, you should have come, this and that. Why this has to happen? And he says, take life as it comes. It is all his leela. Enjoy. बस उतना ही बोल दिया, और कुछ बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है. Let's see how it unfolds. That one more word he said. Who can say this? Who has got no agenda? हमारा तो एजेंडा है. What is the agenda? अरे यार यहाँ पे दर्द हो रहा है. एजेंडा है. अरे हीटर क्यों बंद कर दिया? Don't put it on. I'm just example wise I'm saying. Agenda is, there was so much traffic, that's why I got delayed. So there is always, where there is duality, there will be agenda. Where there is unity, there is no agenda. And that we have to come to, the wise men have come to know that. And therefore, such a person does not grieve. Not only grieve, he does not get elated also. Sukha dukkha samay kritva labha labho jaya jayo tato yuddhaya yuddhasva na shochati na kankshati. Na shochati, he does not regret about anything. Na kankshati, he does not expect anything. अपना सारा ड्रामा इन दोनों से शुरू होता है, regret and expectation. So many people come to us. So many on a daily basis. Nobody wants to know the truth. They only want to know Swami. Abhi, yesterday only, even in Newcastle, big ha-ha hoo-hoo going on. The husband doesn't do this, the husband doesn't do this. He's only sitting and watching TV. I have to clean the house, I have to cook the food, I have to take care of the grandchildren, I have to take care of the daughter. And the husband is saying, why you have to do all this? Because then I have to tell the husband, I wish the Lord doesn't make you a woman next year, next birth. क्या बात कर रहा है? मैंने कहा, you are not understanding what that girl is going through. क्या बोलेंगे? Such a wise person becomes the embodiment of bliss and fears nothing from anywhere. Why he doesn't fear from anything anywhere? Because he is everywhere. देखो, एक तो है we have to come to know the self and be the self. Then the second part is that self alone is the self everywhere. This is the second. One is the neti neti. I am not the body, I am not the breath, I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am the consciousness that there is. When you take this approach, you will come to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. You understand Nirvikalpa Samadhi? This fellow was also in Nirvikalpa Samadhi. But instead of Samadhi, he was focusing on the void. That was his problem. Or his mind was going in that direction because he was still thinking that realization is an experience of the mind. And till this thought is maintained in the mind, it will lead only to one conclusion. What is that? Coming to zero, coming to absence, coming to nothingness. It will not lead to abidance. Why? Because we are still in the mind. The mind is not oriented subjectively. Mind is still searching for the self objectively. Then the absence comes. This wise man has transcended that problem. For one who seeks liberation, there is no other path to break free from the bonds of transmigration than realizing the truth as one's own self. No scripture can teach you, can make you realize. No Guru Maharaj can make you realize. Because Guru is within, as the Sadguru. And not only within, here just now, Antarbarhi, so he is everywhere. There is no place that he is not. He is in the teacher also. But our point is, we are not even surrendered to the scriptures. We are not surrendered to the Guru Maharaj, the teacher. We are not even surrendered to the Lord, and neither we are surrendered to the ability, the potentiality that is lurking within. तो सब जगह से अपनी मार खा के रखी हुई है. And then the problem comes. क्योंकि without faith, this process is not going to unfold. Without focus, this process is not going to unfold. Without this presupposition that I need to dissolve who I am as I know myself right now, till then the self is not going to reveal. If I want to hold on to the ego, I want to hold on to the individuality. And what is that? I want to hold on to the body, I want to hold on to the memories, I want to hold on to the idea that I was born or I'm going to die. Till then, self is not going to reveal. Till then, only one thing will happen. If you keep this, maximum that will happen is Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And when Nirvikalpa Samadhi is over, back to body, or back to hunger, or back to sleep. But this wise man has transcended everything. He has broken free from all the attachments and identifications. And as a result, and what is this breaking free? This breaking free is like you break this also. Nothing in the scriptures is outside your experience. You also break free every day. How? Last night you slept, you had a dream, you had a body, you had a relations there, and you had a house, you had everything. Everything was going on wonderfully. Suddenly you woke up. What happened? You broke free from the dream body and the dream world. And you realized what? That yeah, it was only an imagination. So wake up. Wake up now. So that we realize, and once you wake up, then there is no validity for the dream as we know it. Similarly, there will be no validity left for the waking dream that we are experiencing right now. and thus he realizes the life itself, that who he is itself is the real self, and this realization does not happen through thoughts. It happens. You don't think and wake up. You wake up. Again, experience is your own. I'm trying to relate to that. So you don't think, you may think and go to sleep, but thinking has to stop in order for sleep to begin. Similarly, you don't think and wake up, waking happens and you start thinking. Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. We wake up to this waking dream, and after that, waking up, the dialogue will still continue. Doesn't matter, but now you are not caught up in the dialogue. Brahma bhinnatva vijnanam bhava mokshasya karanam yena dvitiyam anandam brahma sampadyate budhaihi. The teacher says, the cause for liberation from transmigration is the realization of one's identity with Brahman. This is very important point. Only realizing the self as I am the consciousness is not enough. I am Atma Brahma. That I am that consciousness is not enough. This consciousness is the infinite consciousness. This must come about. So I am Atma Brahma. Where will it take you? It will take you, I am the consciousness, it will take you to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. If this thought is that only I am Brahman, I am the Atma. If we have not done the homework before, that this Atma alone, Tattvamasi, the teacher has said, हाँ ठीक है आपने बोल दिया, but I am more interested in I am Atma Brahma. But here again, my mistake, here the word is I am Atma Brahma, but he has forgotten the word Brahma. He only focuses on the Atma. So this identity with the universal self or the infinite self is necessary. That is called expansion. First is contraction. You leave everything and contract and come to be the conscious self that you are. And then the nature of the self itself is all pervasiveness that we have seen. But are we convinced about it? If you think, no, I have to do something in order for it to expand, then you have not come to abide in the reality. So Brahma, the cause for liberation from transmigration is the realization of one's identity with Brahman. By means of this, the wise attain Brahman, the one without a second, the bliss absolute. Every scripture, every Upanishad is roaring away. Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. You are that Brahman. You, the consciousness, are the infinite consciousness. And life is pushing you in that direction, whether you like it or not. You were born, life is continuously expanding. Then you are tired of being alone, then you get married. Then you get tired of being two, you become 3, 4, 5. आजकल तो कम हो गया, एक मैं और मेरा एक, पहले तो 10, 15. But expansion, now what is happening? What happens when a person gets married? What is expansion there? Now you are not only related to yourself, you are related to your wife, you are related to your husband, you are related to the extended family, their brothers, sisters, uncle, aunts. Automatically yours, if you are the Jamai Raja, then your influence is quite wide. Isn't it? You're getting royal treatment everywhere. See? Exactly the same way. Exactly the same way. So life is pushing you to expand, That is why we came to the ashram, we came to this path, because we were not satisfied with only material expansion or physical expansion. We wanted something more. We wanted to pursue something that is infinitely expansive. That is by grace only that if we are thinking about it, it catches you from inside. And that led to this point where we are today. See? So, the wise, they are very clear that this consciousness that I am alone is the infinite consciousness. The resultant is what we'll see in the next verse. What is the consequence if the consciousness that I am is the consciousness? If I use the word, the consciousness within is the consciousness without, what is the consequence? Here it says, where are we? It will come in another few verses, but here he says, Brahma bhutastu sansrutyai vedvan navartate punaha vijñatavyamata samyak Brahma bhinnatvamatmanaha. He says, no more does one, the wise man we are talking about, no more does he return to the world of transmigration, that is punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, after having become one of the nature of Brahman. One must therefore strive to fully realize one's identity with Brahman. See, this is, when I was in Newcastle just now, this is the thought that came. What is that? Manushyattvam, mumukshutvam, mahapurusha sanshraya. These are the three. It is very rare to get a human birth. Manushyattvam. बहुत पापड़ वेले होंगे तब जाके ये मनुष्य योनि मिली है. And that too. And then manushyattvam, mumukshutvam. And you must have done, at a relative level, you must have done very good deeds in your past lives, because of which, in this life, having got the human birth, you have interest in the reality. It is also very rare. Look at the masses. Very rare. So, human birth is rare. Interest in the scriptures or interest in the reality is even rare. Okay, you may have human birth, you may have interest in the reality, but it's like when you take the air out of a balloon, you untie the balloon and leave it, घूमता है. So that is the state of this fellow who is interested in the reality. What do we do? ये किताब खोल ली, अच्छा आज this is the message for me today. Then you open this is the message for me today. Then you open, the library is full, and every day we know little bit, one line, one word from some book which randomly comes in our hand, and we think we are spiritual. No, we don't have the stamina to go through a particular thought the way the scriptures are taking, and therefore, and many people are on such a journey, I will study the scriptures myself. And at 60, 70, 80, they want to study Sanskrit. Why? I want to write a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. That is their dream. किसी से पढ़ना नहीं है. तो, and therefore, if one has got the human birth, one has got a deep desire to liberate, to get a learned teacher in their life who can guide their mind in the right manner, so that you don't get caught up. Caught up in what? Caught up in karma yoga, caught up in kundalini yoga, caught up in kriya yoga. Sab zaruri hai, no doubt. But the highest vision only a realized master can present to you. See? And help you navigate through all the challenges that life is presenting. Mahapurusha Sanshraya. And many times great masters come into our life, but we suspect them because we are thinking about them like we think about ourselves. And therefore you see many masters, there are so many people who are bad mouthing them all the time. Huh? So one must be very, Swamiji, our Swamiji says, it does not matter from where the knowledge is coming. Person is not important. Knowledge is important. So are we committed to the knowledge? When we become committed to the person, it becomes a cult. When we become committed to the scriptures, then we become Shastris or Upadhyayas or whatever. We have to remain committed to the truth. And truth is everywhere and truth is coming to you every moment. And if, so this is the rare thing, the third rare thing, that a teacher comes into your life and you are surrendered, you are available, you are ready to contemplate and be available to the teachings. And for a person who has all these three, realization is a foregone conclusion. Manushyatvam, Mumukshutvam, Mahapurusha Sanshraya. So now you watch your life, all three are present. Then why the delay? And not one Mahapurusha. Many Mahapurushas have come to your house. How many have come? And you have been associated with so many. We have been associated with so many. Swamiji has taken us to so many. We have ourselves been in company of so many great masters. They call them Bhagwan. Yeah? Our Shirdi Sai Baba, Satya Sai Baba. So there should be no doubt left in our mind as to who we essentially are after having got everything. उसके बाद भी तुम doubt कर रहे हो तो nobody can help you. So here the teacher is saying that no more does one return to the world of transmigration, birth and death, having abided in the nature of Brahman. One must therefore strive to fully realize one's identity with Brahman. Strive. No, strive means effort. And what is the effort? First effort is, I have already told you, first effort is come to be the consciousness. Then once you have been, then the second part is what? Start suspecting that the same consciousness is expressing in one and all. Now that point will be, how do we do that? उसके लिए again सिर्फ एक क्लिक चाहिए बस. You don't have to do anything. अच्छा, इसके अंदर भी consciousness है. Let me see where the consciousness is. My attention is on the body. My attention is on the eyes. My attention is on the nose. नहीं यार, मेरे को तो consciousness पे focus करना है. Consciousness कहाँ है? अंदर है, बाहर है, पीछे है, आगे है. ऐसे नहीं. ऐसे नहीं. This is not the way. But many people try that. Many people do that. So, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Veshuddham Param Swatah Siddham Nityanandaikara Sampratyak Abhinnam Nirantaram Jayati. So what is this Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. This is a very famous, you all have bhajan bhi hai iske, with this. So existence, consciousness, bliss is Brahman. And what is it? Vishuddham Param Swatah Siddham. Vishuddham, it is ever pure, extremely pure. And Swatah Siddham, it is, Swatah means self, Siddham is existing, it is self-established, you can say. It is self-established, and we are talking about you. Brahman is not a far-away entity. We are talking, Brahman and consciousness is one. Atma is one. So, what is Atma? Swatah Siddham. What is Atma? Satchidanand Swarup. And then what is it? Nitya Ananda Ekarasam. It is a continuous, homogeneous mass of Ananda, of bliss. And what type of bliss? Continuous, unbroken. The example given in the scriptures is when you pour the water, you can have some drops of water falling down. But when you pour the oil, it's a continuous stream. Ekarasa. Ekarasa. Same way, this Atman and Brahman, they are Ekarasa Ananda Ghana. Ananda Rasa. And that is your nature. Now, if we are living contrary to it, कि यार ऐसे हो गया, मेरे को उसने ऐसे बोल दिया, इसने ऐसे बोल दिया, यार मेरा बिजनेस नहीं ठीक जा रहा, यार मेरी नौकरी जा रही है, मेरी नौकरी आ रही है, मेरे को पैसे उतने नहीं मिल रहे, मेरे को पैसे उतने ज़्यादा मिल रहे हैं, एक्साइटमेंट सॉरो बहुत चलता ही रहता है. So what are we are living contrary to our nature. The moment we focus on the world, we have forgotten the self. So we have to, nobody can make you do it. You have to find a click, a knack. It's a knack. You have to find a knack. How? This consciousness within is the consciousness without. It has to reveal. The knack will reveal only when you are thinking about it continuously to the exclusion of everything else. So here it says, Nityananda Ekarasam Pratyag Abhinna Nirantaram Jayati. And then Ekarasam Pratyag Abhinnam. It is not different from one's own essential nature, the conscious self. Pratyak means immediate, and abhinnam is not separate from who you are. And then nirantaram, and it is ever nirantaram, continuously, jayati, victorious. It is ever victorious, means because it never goes out of existence. It is ever. Light may come and go. Electricity is continuous. The civilizations have come and gone. Earth is continuous. Nothing has happened to the earth. Now archaeologists go dig it out. Hey, 10,000 saal pehle. Now in entire Middle East, they are finding temples everywhere. That means all that was buried under in order to propagate their culture. See? So don't, where are we? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma Vishuddham Param Swatah Siddham Nityananda Ekarasam Pratyaga Bhinnam Nirantaram Jayati. So this conscious, that you who you are, is ever victorious. So this thought that I have got defeated by life, that I am a poor me, ये मन में कभी आना ही नहीं चाहिए. कभी आना नहीं चाहिए. All the losses and all the successes that the dreamer goes through in his life, in the dream, does it have any meaning once you wake up? Does it have any meaning? No. Then, if that is true there, then all the successes and all the losses and all the regrets and all the expectations, do they have any meaning in this life? The rule must be applied. You can't live 1/3 of your life. Either you apply the rules of that you have for the dream world on the waking world, or you apply the rules of the waking world on the dream world. If you apply the rules of the waking world on the dream world, you will start writing how dreams are telling you how you have to live. Dreams के ऊपर कितनी किताबें लिखते हैं लोग. See? But we are living neither The rules of the waking do not apply on the do not apply on the dream or the sleep. The rule of the sleep does not apply on the dream and the waking. The rule of the dream does not apply on the sleep and the waking. So all of them are having different rules, and we are broken up. और जहाँ हम broken up हो गए, अपनी कब्र खोद ली. So we have to, the only way to come out of this is focus on the consciousness. Continuing, the Mahatma says, Sadidam paramadvaitam swasmad anyasya, Sadidam paramadvaitam swasmad anyasya vastuno bhavat nahi nahyanyadasti kinchit samyak paramarthatva bodhas ashyama ashayam tattva bodhad ashayam. He says the absolute oneness alone is real, since there is nothing other than the self. Truly, there is no other independent entity in the state of full realization of the supreme truth. Many people, many seekers, continuously, when they sit in meditation or when they want to go into meditation, their approach is, I am going to experience the reality and I will be able to communicate that reality to others after realization. Just like I go to sleep and I communicate to the people that I had a wonderful, blissful, undisturbed sleep. So I will be able to communicate that I had a wonderful, undisturbed communion with myself on the seat of meditation, and it was so divine, it was so absorbing. This is the attitude, and this attitude is unhealthy. It's unhealthy. And therefore here the teacher is saying that there is no other independent entity. It is not something to be gained, and after having gained, you will ever lose it. And if we are coming out of meditation back to being the individual that we were before the meditation, then we have not accessed the self. We have not, I shouldn't say the wordings are wrong. I can't say then we have not accessed the self. I must say then we have not dissolved ourselves. Because self is always, all that is required is dissolution of the individuality. We have not dissolved ourselves. So somewhere a tiny seed of the I was still lingering. Then how do you remove? I'm going into meditation every day, regularly. Then how do I remove that last seed? Come to Vedanta. That is the only way. That is the only way. You have to pre-program your mind before going into meditation. Yesterday, Uncle Subhashji was showing me their prayer book, and in that all affirmation was there. I am, जैसे हमने कल रात को कल किया था ना, नित्य शुद्ध बुद्ध मुक्त स्वरूप. So continuously 4-5 lines he is positively saying, I am this, 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 I am this. I am inside and I am outside, I am everywhere, there is nothing apart from me. All these type of language is there. And that Dada Bhagwanji, he says, you keep chanting this continuously, automatically one day it will click. If it clicks, the commitment I'm talking about, if it clicks, one foreign person whom you never knew, now it is your wife or husband, it has clicked, you're committed to them. Someone built the house and you have paid the money and it clicks that this is my house. So why is it so difficult, that which is permanently with you, that I am that consciousness? It has to click, but you have to think about it again and again, that's all. Yadidam sakalam vishwam nana rupam pratitam ajnanat tat sarvam brahmaiva pratyaha Tashesha Bhavana Dosham. Here he says, the entire universe, which because of ignorance appears to be of diverse forms, is in fact Brahman alone, which is free from all limitations of thought. All limitations of thought. Does that mean that the thoughts will not appear? They will appear after realization also. Then what is the status? The status is, for whom the thoughts are coming, that fellow is missing. That is what is happening. Right now, there is a speaker and a spoken to. After realization, speaking is happening, the spoken to are listening, but the speaker is missing. You cannot imagine that. Or you can imagine it that in sleep, the person is not there and he kicks you. And you don't, what is your disposition? You don't feel offended by that person's kick in sleep because you know that person is not there, isn't it? But same person after waking up, hey, you kicked me. Did I kick you? Okay, did I do like this? And immediately the war will begin. Fight will begin. Why? Now the person is there, the individual is present. That same child who is pulling the hair and slapping the mother or troubling the mother and scratching and biting, you complete discount to that child. Why? No individuality. Or individuality is there but unexpressed. It hasn't shown its hood yet. But by the 3 years old, then slowly, the moment the hood comes out, the mother and father, they start becoming strict with that child, isn't it? Exactly the same way. Who is this realized master? He is that one. And that one without a second can be realized only without a thought. It is a revelation. And thought meaning, after that, once we have come to abide in the reality that we are, thereafter all activities at the equipment level will come or happen or not happen, but the person is not available to those activities. Now, for this, one example is given and we'll conclude with that. Mrutkarya bhutopi mrudo na bhinnaha kumbhosti sarvatra tu mrut swarupat na kumbha rupam prudhagasti kumbhaha kuto mrusha kalpita nama matraha. Kuto mrusha kalpita nama matraha. Here he says, example is taken of pot and clay. The pot is nothing but a modification of clay. Ornament is nothing but a modification of gold. Wave is nothing but a modification of water. It is not different from it. It is not separate from it. Pot is clay. Ornament is gold. Wave is water. There is no separation. There is no demarcation line. And the clay, the mud is pervading the whole pot. The gold is pervading the whole ornament. The water is pervading the whole wave. Keep going with the thought. And therefore, for all purposes, only clay is present. Only gold is present. You touch, feel, taste water. You touch, feel, taste gold. You touch, feel, taste clay. But what do you call it? Pot. You call it ornament and you call it a wave. So here he says, all these names and forms are nothing but imaginations. Truth is, you are that truth. Brahman is that truth. You are that Brahman. And all and forms are nothing but figments of imagination. In our somewhere it's also said, asti, what is this creation? Asti bhati priya nama roop. Asti is existence, bhati means knowledge, effulgence, priya is ananda, and nama roop. Nama roop, out of these five, name and form is the world, asti bhati priya is the reality. Where is our attention? Only on the nama roop. Only on nama roop. And in this manner, again and again, we'll look into that particular example more detail tomorrow. But for today, recognize that there is no place in the pot where the clay is not. There is no place in the ornament where the gold is not. And there is no place in the wave where the water is not. If this, and what is a pot, a wave, and the ornament? They are nothing but name and form. Come to yourself and determine what is the name and form. The body is the form, and to that form you call it body. Thought appearing in the mind is also form. Every word you utter is also form. So what is the status of this form that we have considered ourselves to be? It is the same status as the wave, the ornament, or the pot. It appears, but in reality is not. Then what is? Only the consciousness that I am is. This consciousness is expressing through this body, panchakoshas. Nothing can be done about it. You did not create the panchakoshas, and you did not decide to enter. It is all a leela that is going on. It will eternally go on. The expression of consciousness through matter, it will continuously go on. Are we going to complain about it again and again? The water expressing through wave will continuously go on. If one wave is not there, next one is there. The expression of gold through the ornament will continuously go on. The form is melted, again another ornament is made, but it is still the same gold. Similarly, the expression of consciousness through the form is a continuous principle. Just as we are using the word gold and ornament, ornament is name and form. Gold is the substratum. Apply it to yourself. Substratum is the Atman, the consciousness, and the ornament is the body, the panchakoshas. Panchakoshas are also essentially nothing but the pure consciousness. obsession from the name and form has to be removed. And the focus has to be brought to the consciousness that I am, who is pervading this form. Importance is given only to the consciousness, not to the name and form. Slowly becoming aware of your body. Move your toes, fingers, shoulders, neck. Offering the experience to the Lord. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.